Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play of Hiveswap Friendsim. Last time we met Daria, an apathetic teen who is not satisfied with her duties as a Jade Blood and is also just generally dissatisfied with the entire situation going on in Alternia. Anyway, in the good ending we introduced her to, I think, Tysius? Yeah. And the two of them got to talking a bit, and I think they're going to be friends, which is nice. Anyway, we have someone else to meet, and I completely forgot what they look like because I recorded Daria yesterday. It's been a bit. Oh yeah, the wrestler Blue Blood. At least I think they're a wrestler. Yep, we can skip all this because we read it. Nihkee Moolah. I know Nike means victory if we're not talking about the brand. And Moolah is obviously money. So, this person looks pretty cool. They got the nice dramatic tear, sparkling tears flying from their eye going on. I think they're going to be fun. Dim lights, the din of a roaring crowd, and the smell of horribly overpriced and nauseating concessions. Even across galaxies, timelines, and perhaps even universes, there's still something deeply familiar about a sporting arena. That's a cage match with a giant purple blood. Smash your mother honking face in! There's also something deeply familiar about sports fans. Hi, Amnesia. Blah. Such a shame having seats next to the purples. They can be so crude and boorish, don't you agree? Childhood wouldn't be nearly this loud. Usually. You find yourself here attending a wrestling show, a display of muscular theater, to use the troll terminology, thanks to the benevolence of one Amnesia Erden. She won the tickets in a raffle and excitedly invited you to come along. You agreed with some reservations that you quickly expressed. She was quite disappointed, but eventually agreed not to kidnap you and keep you locked up as a living paint jar, since you're buddies and all. What a sweet friend. You have to admit, though, muscular theater isn't really your thing. Yeah, I don't really watch wrestling. Nothing against it, but it's not really my thing either. It's as over-the-top and ridiculous as human wrestling, which makes it perfectly entertaining enough, but it's also, well, a lot more violent. Participants aren't expected to die as far as you can tell, but you've already seen a few get wheeled off on futuristic hover stretchers with injuries you're not sure they could survive. I like the giant muscle beasts in the background too. That's fun. Oh gosh, she nearly got impaled there! Every match tonight is taking place within a chain link cage. That's not chain link. Spikes surrounded from both the outside and inside and jut out occasionally from the places where the wires cross. The overall design, in addition to ensuring maximum bloodshed, seems to keep both the wrestlers inside and the audience out. Ironically, it might be safer this way. The current combatants are some olive blood named the Huntress and a purple blood calling himself Cole Pitts. Interestingly to you, there is nothing clown-like about him at all. It is almost conspicuous how unclowny he is, if only due to the absolutely ridiculous amount of clown content you have imbibed in the presence of other purples. The two fighters appear to be nearly evenly matched. The olive troll ducks and weaves amid blindingly fast punches from the purple, slashing at him with grandiose arm gestures, trying to overwhelm him with a barrage of smaller attacks. Every one of his punches hits hard enough to knock her down, but she always springs up before he can land a second hit. She's incredibly steady on her feet and quicker than he. In fact, you get the distinct impression the olive troll is holding back, presumably so as to avoid inciting the crowd. Thus far, you have not seen a single match in which the lower-blooded opponent triumphed over a higher-blooded foe. I must admit, this match is a lot more intense than I was expecting. But I hope it ends soon. There's supposed to be a really famous muscular theatress performing next. Her name is Nihkee Moolah and she hasn't ever lost a fight. I heard she even beat a Violet Blood once. Nihkee Moolah, huh? That's a name you could befriend. She must be as big a deal as Amnesia makes her out to be because she uses her real name instead of some ridiculous made-up nonsense like John Cena or Hulk Hogan. Oh, look! He got her! You flinch. The purple blood finally managed to get his quarry in his clutches, and he lifts her up by the face, digging his fingers into her skull until you hear a sickening crunch as she collapses to the ground, panting heavily. She can't bring herself back up to her feet, and the announcer calls the match to uproarious applause from the audience. Two trolls enter the cage and start dragging her out, while the winner basks in the audience's affection. The olive blood looks like she'll probably live, but she's got a dent in her face that probably isn't coming out, ever. Ugh. All of a sudden, you think you really need to go, get a bathroom. You mean use a snack. You mean, you'll be right back. Oh, okay. Come back soon. This fire's giving me all sorts of ideas for a new painting. You quickly make a break for it, jostling your way through the stands and towards the exit of the arena. But before you make it, a voice calls out to you. Some slick-haired and slick-finned violet blood guy wearing a full suit with a tacky flame pattern on it. Hey you, alien. Me, you ask, pointing to yourself nervously. No, the other alien. You swing your head around wildly, looking for the other alien. This bit plays out predictably for a while before you both get on the same page, which is that you are which is that you are the alien whose attention he wants. You looking to make a little extra buck? No, not really. You never spent all that money you won with Azdaja. Okay, how about fame? Frankly, you're probably already too famous for your own good. Friendship? Oh shit, yeah. Sighing with relief, the troll leads you backstage while explaining that he is a promoter for this wrestling ring. One of the trolls that was supposed to perform tonight was eaten by some plant called a troll-devouring catchy grabber. Isn't that the name of... That's something to do with Squiddles, I know that. It was either like a name of a character or like one of the songs on the Squiddles album. As such, famed muscular theatress Nihkee Moolah has been left with nobody to fight. You'll be that nobody, or somebody. An alien will bring in all sorts of media attention and controversy, which of course means big bucks for him, and friendship for you. Nihkee is so friendly, he says in a tone so insincere even your friendship-addled brain refuses to believe it. It's okay, you've met worse. Oh, hello. He takes you into a back room which seems to be full of performers waiting for their turn on stage. There are all sorts of trolls here, muscular and sweat-soaked, blue-blooded more often than not. Sorry, I was just looking at all the pictures and stuff in the background. One troll in particular stands out to you, from her severe expression to her softly pulsating robotic leg to the fact that she's the only troll with a fully illustrated sprite. I mean, yeah, that's a big giveaway. I like her design, I'll say that much. She's currently doing bicep curls with a set of spiked weights, huffing with exertion. When the promoter approaches, she looks up with a scowl. I'm busy. He begins to explain that he has brought a new challenger for her to face, but she cuts him off and stands up. She isn't as tall as you expected, but damn if she isn't dense, packing more brawn than any other troll you've met. Do you want to know what happens, sister, to people who disturb my preparations? Do you want to experience the bone-crushing, torso-shattering impact of these ladies right here? She flexes. God, those muscles are huge. The promoter tells her that she really doesn't need to keep up the act. There's no cameras back here. She gives him a stern look which distinctly suggests that she has never dropped I don't know how to pronounce that word, but I know what it means. K-fob? Is that it? It's like the, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the persona of wrestlers, like their character, their storytelling, and how they keep it up for the audience. That's basically it. In her life, it has no intention of starting now. Make it quick. The promoter makes it quick. So, let me get this straight. You expect me, to perform with this thing? She seems less than impressed, which you find reasonable. Magnificent legs aside, you don't really look like the wrestling type. Don't you dare insult me, sister. I'd rather you pulled a Rusty from the audience than subject me to this humiliation. Oh, but you are more than just an audience member. Frail though you may be, you have the heart and soul of a wrestler. No, I do not. Don't lie. You have much longer than about 5 minutes, you thoroughly assure her, waited for an opening such as this, to reveal your true passion to the world, to come alive on stage and grapple and tumble with the best of them. For eons you have thirsted for the chance to sing the song of sinew, the hymn of heft, the melody of muscle. Whether you could be blessed by the opportunity to live the life of an athlete, to perform alongside your hero, to show the world that you, too, love to do the muscly thing. That you might just... Okay, I get it. She glances over at the promoter, then back to you. It does seem surprisingly articulate for a lesser being. But is it ready for butt-clenching, flesh-abrading, knuckle-blistering, muscle-rippling, smackdown from uptown? Yes. You nod your head confidently. Blister my knuckles and abrade my flesh, you say. Let's get this smackdown started. You've got guts, at least. She turns to the promoter and gives him a curt nod. The match is on. Then she turns back to you. Now, sister, we need to discuss the show. I will make all the decisions. You will respond adequately to the storyline I present. It will be thus. The alien invader challenges me to an exhibition match to topple the matriarchy. They fight valiantly and show an entertaining display of strength, but in the end, as is right and proper, the nobler hue of the hemospectra prevails again. Rah! She starts flexing and showing off for an imaginary audience before turning back to you. Any questions, sister? Yes, actually, you do have a couple of questions. First, will you die? No! Unless you're particularly disgustingly weak, in which case, maybe. Such is the risk we take, we who indulge in that most noble and dignified of sports. I was willing to give up my leg for the craft. Is your life such a heavy price to pay for a tale that will transcend us and be remembered in the annals of muscular history? Is it, sister? Well, it's rhetorical. Oh, that advanced on its own, and I accidentally hit enter. Right. Secondly, when she says exhibition match, it is a muscular theater term, referring to a match staged for the entertainment that does not affect one's ranking on the flexa ladder. We will not be sparring in the nude. Such glorious displays of raw, chiseled physique are reserved for the Intergalactic Trollympics. No, yeah, you got that. Mostly you're wondering if it meant the loser's head being exhibited on a pike or some other bloodthirsty nonsense. Do not denigrate this noble sport with claims of savagery. Thirdly, you're getting the sense that she's going to be playing the heel, yeah? The what? You explain that in your own cultural equivalent of muscular theater, performers generally fall into the categories of face or heel, wherein the face is the rule-abiding and sympathetic figure the audience is meant to root for, whereas the heel takes on a more aggressive and unlikable personality. What part of my personality is unlikable? None of it so far. I like you. Do you dare suggest, sister, that the audience won't be roaring in the thunderous applause and admiration as I conquer yet another pitiful foe? You tell her, you know what, she can be both the face and the heel, and you'll just be subjugated under my heel? Yes, exactly. Hey, Moolah, chatting time's over. You're up. She jerks her head back at you and silently marches out of the room. You begin to follow, and the promoter directs you to your entrance on the other side of the arena. You wait nervously for your cue to enter. Well, folks, we've had some technical difficulties, but here comes the match you've all been waiting for. Wearing the belt of champions and a leg of her own design, she's ready to gut the competition. A paragon of power, a lady of legwork, a true blue Ruffy Annihilator in the making. Clap those hands and activate your screech crevices. It's Nihkee Moolah! Nihkee approaches the cage to thunderous applause, raising her arms and soaking in all the praise. Oh wow, is she covered in milk now? Yep. She flexes and poses as the audience throws glasses of milk at her, which shatter uselessly around her steely frame. This appears to be a common ritual for her. She steps through one of the cage doors and it slams shut behind her, locking tight. With her arms crossed and her teeth firmly gritted, she awaits you, and as the announcer begins a new intro speech, you step forward. And in the other corner, frail in stature, weak in knees, wearing a perpetual look of befuddlement, we have some messed up low-blood alien! How's this absurd mockery of life not been cold yet? Perhaps only so fate could lead them to their thrashing at the bloodthirsty hands and barbed foot of the Grand Nihkee. A decent portion of the crowd boos at you during your approach, which you find unsurprising. You have to dodge a hail of old boots and rotten fruit. Someone throws an entire piano at you. Relatively unfazed, you enter the ring and hear the door close behind you. So, you've come here, alien, to prove your kind superior to the unbreakable, unstoppable troll species? Yeah, you shout. Your kind is so superior to trolls. And you, their emissary. Does this creature look superior to you, my theater enthusiasts? She turns to the audience, throwing out a hand and a gesture to you. They boo. Is this sorry specimen the best its planet can afford? More boos. You counter that you came more than prepared to tackle the, matriarchy? Yeah, that. So, you claim to be prepared. But are you prepared to face these 24-inch slither noodles? She flexes so hard the announcer's sleeves explode. Wow, that's impressive. So be it. I'll crush you in a single blow. You're expecting a referee to start the match, but then it occurs to you that there is no referee. Somewhere in the distance, a bullhorn sounds, which is apparently the signal to begin. Without taking her eyes off you, Nihkee grabs the cage wall behind her and hoists herself up effortlessly, scaling it in reverse until she reaches the top. The announcer is screaming something about this move being called the Spiky Nihkee. Once she finishes her ascension, Nihkee deftly leaps from the edge of the cage and spins down toward you. Her body twists and writhes in multiple blindingly fast flips before a robotic leg comes slashing at you. You spend quite some time admiring her dazzling form before it occurs to you that you should probably move. You duck and roll forwards, feeling the point of her leg just barely graze against your scalp. The announcer shouts, "First blood!" as you feel a light trickle down the back of your neck. Some members of the crowd are booing, presumably because they just noticed the color of your blood. Between the neon lighting and distance, they probably think it's just rust-colored and not a mutant red, so at least you have that going for you. What you don't have going for you is time to think about your next move, because Nihkee pivots on her heel and charges at you. This time, she's going for a more theatric throw. Two powerful hands grab you and lift you above her shoulders, where you nearly gore yourself on one of your horns in an attempt to escape. You plant two hands on her back and push hard, and you are delighted to find that her grip loosens and you go tumbling over her back, landing with a clumsy stagger on your own feet. You're not sure if she let you get away with that just for the sake of her show, or if you just slipped out from her sweat-soaked palms, but you're going to charitably assume the former. She turns to face you, grunting and baring her fangs. She charges, rearing back a fist and then sending it barreling towards your fragile human nose. You leap out of the way, only narrowly dodging it. All you've done is avoid me, coward. Where's your killer instinct? Do I scare you? Are you loath to face my true blue, muscle-bound beauty? You take this as your cue to attack, and instead you run full tilt away from her. It isn't fear carrying you, you swear. Fool! There is no running or hiding from Nihkee Moolah. Stand and fight! She sprints towards you as you flee. The crowd is on tenterhooks. Nobody knows what you're doing, least of all you. But you think you can pull something cool out of this. You leap at the cage wall, barely dodging the spikes that line it, and use the slight amount of give in the chain-linked wires to springboard you off. With an exuberant grin, you go flying toward her, arm held out for a classic clothesline maneuver, and then you collide with her arm and whop! Yep, we got knocked out, and we're at our house now, I guess. Her hive, I mean. When you wake up, you're lying on what appears to be an exercise mat. You can feel a telltale throbbing sensation on your face that indicates a black eye. The rest of you, thankfully, doesn't feel particularly hurt. Nearby, you can hear the huff and puff of exertion. You glance over and spot Nihkee training on one of those leg press machines you always saw in gyms but never had the courage to attempt to use. She's wearing an exercise outfit which, despite its vastly different purpose, looks almost exactly like the outfit she wore in the ring. It has all the functions a fitness aficionado would want. It's loose, it's breathable, and the artist don't have to draw a second set of sprites for it. Yup. As soon as she notices you're awake, she turns to speak to you. She doesn't even stop her workout. You're finally awake, sister. Welcome to my hive. I've spent so much time. So much. Precious, valuable time. Waiting for you to open your eyes. Oh god, how long have you been out? About 40 minutes. Oh, that's not so bad, is it? Perhaps, but only when compared to your abysmal performance in the ring. To be knocked out cold by your own attack. Wretched. I am an impossible foe to conquer, and yet even a Rusty has towed me longer in the realm of mortal combat. You are weak, sister. Offensively so. Are you going to be my coach now? Are you going to train me? She slams her foot forward with such velocity, the weight on her leg press goes flying off and leaves a dent in the floor. Grunting, she stands, takes a long swig from her bottle, and then approaches you with fire in her eyes. What do you have to say for yourself? You scuttle backwards, proffering only a sheepish smile. You're sorry, you guess? Huh. I didn't bring you here for apologies. I brought you here to see your heart ignite with the will to improve. You are not a worthless being. You have a flair for theatrics, an appreciation of the sport, and a shining soul, filled of only the most intractable determination. You could be so much more than you are, sister. I could make you so much more. Cast your gaze around you and behold, the Bronisium! You immediately cast that gaze around. The room is massive and layered with training equipment as far as the eye can see. Much of it resembles exercise machines like the ones you had in the gyms back on Earth, but there is plenty more that looks far more alien and deadly. A treadmill which appears to throw the runner into a vat of acid if they fall off. A series of swinging axes that would look at home in a dungeon. 3 different varieties of Iron Maiden, each more horrific than the last. This is presumably Nike's personal workout studio, but you could easily mistake it for a torture chamber. You wonder if our daughter has ever considered a job as a personal trainer. Maybe you should bring it up with her. There are some who may be worthy of my expertise. It is here that I can forge them, just as I forge myself, into beings of adamantine strength. The journey will be harsh. If you are made of weaker stuff than I believe, you will perish in agony. But if your core is strong and your will of iron, yours will be an unquenchable might. She extends a hand to you, her jaw set. Join me, sister, and together we shall ascend. To Messid heights. I've never seen that word. Of muscular perfection. There's a look in her eyes that you have never seen before. One of hope, of faith. Her arm vibrates, muscles quaking. Do you take it? Fuck yeah, I take it. You take her hand, staring into those hopeful eyes. Oh, to see that deep sapphire blue filled with the glow of friendship. She squeezes your hand so tightly you feel your fingers fracturing. Excellent! I knew you had the spark. Now, to make a flame, to grind, and crush, and pummel the flint, until it bursts into the roaring blaze of strength. Today I shall begin by testing your limits. Come. She leads you to the treadmill and the deep, bubbling pit of acid directly behind it. You nervously step on. We're going to measure your speed and stamina. Run until you can run no longer. She starts up the machine. She gives you a nice, breezy jogging pace at first, but the treads quickly begin to wear away at a blindingly fast rate. You're sprinting as hard as you can to keep up, holding desperately onto the arms of the treadmill. Come on, sister, grit your teeth, put some thrust sinew into it. If you're not evacuating your acid tract by the time you're done, you aren't trying. Hard enough. Sweat beads on your head as you push your legs to the limit, running like you're being chased by an angry drone. Your feet must be blurring like Sonic the fucking Hedgehog by now. The treads are moving ever faster, you can almost feel yourself slipping. Got to hold. Ah! You lose your grip and go flying backward, narrowly grasping onto the edge of the pit and dangling into it, your toes singed by the acid. Youch! You hoist yourself up over the edge and roll to the side, hissing. Nihkee stands over you, clucking her tongue. Top speed, 12 miles per hour. That's good, right? 4 bronze blood. Next test. She takes you from machine to machine in quick succession, each time commenting on your skill level. Your biceps are as terrible as Rusty's, your lungs are gold at best, your legs an unexpected cerulean. all the while taunting you, encouraging you to push yourself further. The desiccated corpse of my ancestor could do better than this. You struggle to deadlift a giant barbell made of dead monster skulls. Are you going to eject dismay fluid all night long, or are you going to woman up? You go toe-to-toe with a punching bag that shoots sonic blasts at you whenever you hit it. Shape up or get ejected into the nearest solar execution barge. You sob as she forces you to do 30 minutes of freeform jazzercise. Your jazz hands are terrible! By the time an hour is up, you are panting and huffing, desperate for a break. Nihkee finally relents. Your reward for staying alive thus far. Stay hydrated, sister. She tosses you one of those protein shaker bottles that gym buffs are always chugging from. You regard the mixture within curiously for a moment before throwing caution to the wind and gulping some down. When has imbibing alien substances ever hurt you before? When the flavor hits your taste buds, you almost retch. Is this Gatorade mixed with milk? Ugh, that sounds disgusting. Nutritious and delicious. You keep chugging it. You need the fluids, foul though they may be. Alright, lactose break over. Let's continue. She leads you over to one of those Iron Maidens. This one doesn't actually look spiked. It just has a blunt and bumpy surface on the inside. Get in. What? Get in, sister! You reluctantly step inside the Iron Maiden and the doors clamp shut around you. This thing is far, far too tight for you, and the bumps are pressing into you from all sides, threatening to squeeze you away into nothing. You groan and push back against the walls, desperately trying to keep them from crushing you into a little human waffle. Just when you think your strength is about to get out, the Maiden opens. Pressure resistance, about olive level. These results are, surprisingly, adequate. Your potential continues to shine. Good work. This halfway point seems to mark a change in her attitude as you continue to just barely persevere through everything she throws at you. Like a shake weight so powerful it leaves you shuddering intermittently throughout the next few exercises. Keep steady, sister. Don't lose heart on me now. A rowing machine that dusts you with boiling water if you can't keep up the pace. Go, go, go! We'll make a fuchsia medalist out of you yet! Oh yeah, because gold medalist would be an insult on Alternia, wouldn't it? Literally being chased around a field outside by a giant toothy monster. Don't you dare allow this thing the satisfaction of feasting on your bones! After hours of this grueling work, you finally collapse. You think some of your bones are broken, your heartbeat is coming in quick and irregular pulses, and you can hardly breathe. Your vision blurs and shifts at the edges. God, you're amazed you haven't passed out yet. Get up! You glance weakly up at Nihkee, expecting her to be looking down at you with disdain, but instead you see her crouching down and offering you her hand, wearing a smile. You take her hand and she pulls you up to your feet. Aww. The look on her face now resembles pride, and when she claps a palm down your shoulder, it only kind of hurts. You've done well, sister. I threw everything I had at you, and you soldiered on with head held high, even as your body broke beneath the weight. I have never seen such commitment. Such strength of heart and soul. Such dedication to the craft. Such appreciation for the most righteous of pursuits. You are no mere workout partner. You are a workout friend. A light blossoms inside you like the neighing of a horse. This feeling of power, of strength, of the bond between warriors. This is real and true. And this light will never, ever leave you. As you bask here in the satisfying sweaty glow of a good workout, you realize that planets, universes, dimensions, realities, powers, principalities, and cosmos come and go, but being swole as fuck is forever. Victory! That was really cute. Okay, well let's ruin everything now. Why do you keep doing this to me? Come on, autosaves. Why do you do this? Be back in a minute. Oh, we're going to hesitate this time. You begin to offer your hand, but under her steely gaze your resolve wavers. This all seems like a lot. Too much even. You don't know if if you're made of stuff tough enough for the training she seems to be offering. You would like to prove yourself to become strong, you really would. But does she perhaps just maybe have any courses a little easier on soft and squishy creatures like yourself? The expression on her face grows terrifyingly blank. She's not scowling or snarling or sickened or any other S-word. She's just looking at you with the vaguest hint of disappointment dripping from her otherwise neutral expression. I see. You're like all the rest, aren't you? Unworthy to receive my gifts. Unwilling to reach your full potential. A pathetic simpering thing, playing at dreams of muscular greatness it can never achieve because it doesn't have the will for it. You're an insult to my art. You spit on my passion. Get the fuck out of my face and do not ever dare to return. Shrinking under her steely gaze, you quickly flee her hive. Is this it for you? Is the screen going to fade to black, replaced by a goofy cartoonish end card and some somber game over music composed by artistic genius James Roach? No, you refuse. You're not yet ready to call this friendship kaput. You'll show her and her draconian methods up, damn it. It's time to get ripped! You're going to do it your own way, and then return, and she'll be so utterly impressed by your muscular growth that she'll have no choice but to admit you are friend material. Sadly, you do not know any other blue bloods characterized by an absurd love of muscles and bodybuilding. They're basically all total nerds, actually. But you can perhaps think of someone from a nearby hue who can help you. Is it Conil? Or is it Chahut? Because they're both large, muscular ladies. Oh, Stelza. Oh yeah, she does work out, yeah. We mentioned that before, like she has good arm muscles, and she has jogging equipment and stuff. Her door opens... Her door swings open with gusto, and you are greeted by a familiar smiling face. Oh, what an unexpected surprise! You really should have called. Or texted. Or did literally anything else to alert me to the fact that you wanted to visit me on such short notice when my schedule's so terribly packed. But that's alright, I could squeeze in a meeting, I'm sure. Do come in, do come in. Oh hey, Tysus is here too. Did I interrupt a date? Sorry. You step past the threshold of the door and into her office/living room. Tysus is sprawled out on the couch, lazily holding a book up to her face. It looks like she's studying, which is a relief to you because you would have felt terrible if you had interrupted some intimate time between them. Unless studying is intimate for them, you kind of hope studying isn't intimate for anyone. The prospect terrifies. Would you like to join me and Zizi for some grub loof? It's no imposition, I promise. You absolutely would. You didn't know Stelsa was a cook on top of everything else she does. Oh no, I could never. There simply isn't enough time. I'm just ordering from Door Smash. It's excellent stuff, really it is. Zizi has some colorful words for the taste. It's pretty bitchin'. Yes, it is certainly that. Pencil our good friend here in for a dinner date, can you, darling? They're literally right here already. We don't need to do that. Stelsa pauses and blinks as if processing a foreign concept. Right! Sometimes Stels forgets that you don't have to put everything on a schedule. Which is fair. School feeding changes a troll. Stelsa pulls up a chair and gestures for you to sit down in front of her desk. All that said, while we wait for the meal to arrive, let's get down to brass tacks. What brings you to my lovely abode tonight? Maybe they just want to see you. People don't always need a reason beyond that. You actually do have a reason, though. Shit. You explain to Stelsa that you have a friend, more accurately a friend to be, or perhaps acquaintance, or perhaps a person of chum-adjacent quality, who you'd like to impress through the pursuit of personal fitness. You recall that Stelsa was jogging when you met her, so maybe she could help you put together a fitness routine, and you could do some workouts together? Her expression lights up and she clasps her hands together. Oh goodness, I would absolutely love that. My poor Zizi's usually far too tired and far too busy. Sometimes I don't know how I manage it myself. So I'd absolutely love a partner to keep train says yet running on time. Assuming, of course, you won't be late yourself and I can keep up with my pace. Fair warning, it's blistering. Isn't it though? Thanks, sweetums. You confidently assure her that, if nothing else, you can keep pace with her. Your legs have seen a lot of use. Walking, running, fleeing, prostrating yourself before clowns. You know, the usual. Excellent. We'll set up some meetings then. I'll add you to my schedule. My people will call your people, etc., etc. Thank you for visiting. It's been so lovely to see you. Toodaloo. She's halfway through shoving you out the door when you remind her that she invited you in for grub loaf. She hastily and apologetically pulls you back inside, Tysia snickering in the background. Don't know what I'd do if I didn't have Stels. Someone has to be the energetic one in this quadrant. The contrast is certainly a stark one. Has Tysius considered quaffing energy drinks here or there? Perhaps they could help keep her pep up. 1, I'd probably literally die. 2, you don't want to see me on energy drinks. Nobody does. Fair. You spend a while longer chatting with Tysius before the delivery arrives and the three of you have dinner together. That's really sweet. I love these two. The Grebluff is exactly as bitchin' as advertised. A wonderful meal with wonderful friends. The perfect precursor to the fitness montage yet to come. You visit Stelsa multiple days a week, fitting yourself into her incredibly convoluted and packed schedule. The feat doesn't actually prove very hard. You basically only exist to spend time with friends. Her equipment is delightfully free of torture devices. Besides her step machine, she also owns quite a bit of smaller exercise paraphernalia. Aerobics doodads and thingamajigs, yoga mats, jogging outfits. Even one of those huge bouncy exercise balls, which she bans you from using after you accidentally send it careening into a carefully organized stack of books. Stelsa carries herself forward with a peppy, always-on sense of gusto that can be difficult to keep up with, but her bright smile and encouraging attitude do wonders to keep you invested, to convince you that you really can acquire the swolehood you've dreamed of. By the end of the perigee, you are, well, you wouldn't exactly call yourself ripped, but your muscles are definitely toned in a way they previously were not. You feel hale and healthy, more energetic than ever, with a bit of an extra pep in your step. Apparently, regular exercise makes you feel good. Wild. As you look at yourself in the reflection of an acid puddle, you flex and watch your muscles bulge. Fuck yeah, it's time. At least you hope it's time. You climb into your scuttle buggy and prepare to set the autopilot to Nikee's place, but something stills your hand. Some strange sensation has been slowly, surely settling into your stomach, a sense of unease, of dread. Your days of foolish ignorance are long past, and in their place a burgeoning understanding of the universe in which you exist and the harsh laws by which it rules its inhabitants. You're beginning to fear, made the wrong choice, with all the consequences such a lapse in judgment entails. Will you ever truly befriend Nihkee, or are you cursed to live, for who knows how long, in a world without her sweet smile to cure your insatiable addiction? Mayhap you need not wonder. Mayhap the time has come to look inside yourself, and know. You're going to give your chakras one real motherfucker of a blitzing. It's going to take mood music of the highest caliber. Having picked up some meditative tips from Voldier, you navigate your scuttlebuggy's radio dial to an achromatic buzz station which is currently playing some soothing ocean sounds. The gentle lap of water meeting the shore, the rhythmic beat of the tide, as steady and sweet as a mother's heartbeat, is interspersed with distant honks and a weird animal chittering, of course, because this is still fucking Alternia. You lean back in your seat, reclining it as far as it can go, and sink into the cushiony softness. Something sharp is poking at your rib, but you try to ignore it. You close your eyes and allow the white noise to flood your senses, blocking out everything else. Oh yeah, you are really vibing this shit right now. Chakra status blitzed to high hell. You imagine causality as a river. Every choice a branch. Tributaries upon tributaries, winding ever downward, pooling in lakes of inevitability. The pit in your stomach gnaws. It all ends here, stagnant, bitter water reeking of death. The ocean ever out of reach, your soul ever yearning for the single, solitary estuary among all the ceaseless spillways. You take a deep breath. Water laps at your sides and tickles your ears. You are adrift. You feel the gentle bob as you float down the river, hear the rush like a ticking clock, gravity is time pulling you ever forward. Which river is this? To what end does it deliver you? Your breathing slows, then shudders. You feel the rapids approach. The rivers blur, then shift. Your heart rewinds, missing a beat. A surge of emotion, water streaking down the curve of your cheek. Your lungs ache. Which lungs? Which river? Which you? You try to focus, but the water beats at your brows, lashes your arms and legs, too tired to swim. You try for another deep breath, but nothing comes. With a tumultuous gasp, you sink beneath the surface, to the churning darkness below. Here, amidst the battering onslaught, the images come, whirls of emotion, of sound, of thought. Memories best forgotten or never known, lakes meant to remain uncharted. The crack of thunder, rain and tearfall, a single drop of olive, the record skips. This is very interesting. Peace through rage, the whirl of the carousel, horses whinny as the calliope sings. The circle takes you. Searching eyes implore you. The puppet strings stretch toward the moon, the flash of a blade, the spray of blood, her strings are cut. The crackle of energy, the world gone grayscale, eyes deeper than the deepest pit, a shuddering final breath. You are lost. Lungs burning, water clogging every inch. You furrow your brow. Think. Find your river. Whoa. Coughing, wheezing, a final rattling gasp. Panic seizes you, a resounding crack, the stamp of hooves, the ricochet of gunfire, the death of one, of thousands. I love this right now. A low, sinister honk, footfalls, loud and deep, the swing of a club, blood on the pavement. Dark, acrid smoke, indistinct voices and crackling intercom, a lurch beneath you, feet thrown out, neon energy crackling green. Choking, desperate, lungs aflame, you focus your will. Where are you? Which are you? Find your river. Piercing eyes, a stern, uncompromising gaze. The singe of acid, crushing spikes, the body worn to nothing, all for her approval. The puff of exertion, gray muscles flex and spirits lighten, a gulp of water, the shine of a smile. A looping tape, mirrors and mirrors, the mind, like time, infinite. Wow. The tributary splits and you, finally, drift down your chosen route. Freshwater visions as you float towards the surface. A carefree decision, scuttling legs and the thrum of an engine. Cityscapes passing by. Stern anger, a fist tightly clenched, shaking, barely restrained. Hope crushed under a rigid foot. How dare you insult me by showing your face again? A plan, poorly conceived. At times like these, you envy the Purple Bloods. Well, you envy them quite often, actually. They've got amazing strength. Did we read this before? I don't know. Desperation, madness, friendship at all costs. See, look at how strong you are. You can lift these weights with ease. You could lift something bigger. You'd be happy to demonstrate if she would stop advancing on you with intent to full Nelson your sorry ass. Oh, what the heck? Navy blood pooling on the concrete. Troll and plan, both collapsing. Cold hatred in her eyes. Ah, my other leg! Tense footfalls on the pavement. Muscles strained to exhaustion. The sun rising over a desperate chase. You're just thankful you managed to snatch your water ball out of the scuttle buggy before she tore it in half. The importance of hydration is never more evident than when you spend hours fleeing in terror. How is she even doing this with only one working leg? Escape. Sweet bliss, soon to shatter. Blood and bone turned to steel. Swallowing your fear, you leap across the tracks moments before the train comes rushing past you. Just behind you, you hear a grunt and then a scream, louder and more agonizing than you've ever heard before. Is this it? After days, is your Ocean end? What the heck is happening? Fruitless assistance, your clothing, your soul, stained with blood. No more. No more. I don't... There's a lot of stuff going on right now. So this is the future we're seeing, basically. We challenge Nihkee again, and we injure her badly somehow by ripping her other leg off. I don't know how. And like now she's chasing us or something. And like we got Malik and Tagiri and Polypa trying to save us or something. One more step, one more desperate step, one foot after another in the endless chase. Your pa must died ages ago, but you've been etching lines into the back to keep track of time. You're nearing the 1-year anniversary of... Well, you're not sure what to call it. The day you irrevocably ruined your life? The day you fled to the untamed wilds? You would celebrate, but you doubt you'll have time. She can't be far. Drenched in fear, in sweat, hidden but not well enough. You try your best to stifle your ragged, fearful breathing, but you know it's fruitless. Nothing can hide the terrified pounding of your heart to her bionic ears, nor the heat of your blood to her infrared senses. She can find you here. Did she, like, put herself in a robot body? The curtains fall, one final heartbeat at the end of all things. Ba-bump, ba-bump. Nihkee Borg's searing blue eye flashes in the darkness. There's no more hiding. You close your eyes. That was... Oh man, I don't even know what to say about that. It was certainly fascinating. You emerge from beneath the surface with a gasp, coughing up water and... Oh, it's just you, sitting in your scuttle buggy, gentle white noise still playing on the radio. You take a moment to catch your breath, your heart thumping against your ribcage like it wants to crawl out and beat you senseless for subjecting it to all that horseshit. Okay, enough meditation for one day. You think you're just going to reach over, kinda, set the autopilot to Stelsa's house instead of Nike's. Yeah. You have no idea if this will avert or merely delay some horrifying or grisly end or another, but it's better than the alternative. And besides, you really want some more of that bitchin' grub loaf. Yeah, that's fascinating. Oh man. Oh man. Well, we got the short bad ending left. So... let's just be really hesitant at the start. Actually, this is starting to sound a little much for you. You aren't sure you can quite match her enthusiasm for the craft. Who do you think you are, sister? You who has the globes a step to me. You come into my dressing room with those flimsy, stringy, insultingly puny arms of yours. Look me in the eyes and challenge me to a match. Beg for the chance to spar with me. And then cluck out like the pathetic alien whelp you are? Get out of my sight. Head bowed low, you retreat to the safety, comfort, and friendless expanse that is the audience. You can't even bear to look at Nihkee when she goes out and performs. You're so saddened by the loss of a potential chum. Well, that is kind of grisly watching her pull low-blood challengers from the audience and smash their faces into the spikes. Slam. Poor dude. Well, like, originally I was planning on talking about Nihkee at the end here, but man, that whatever we just went through, that kind of overshadowed everything else in the route. Like, the character said that was specifically meditation techniques taught to them by Boldir, and Boldir has the most connection to whatever the heck is going on. Like, she was the one who first brought it to our attention, really. The whole multiple timeline thing. So... I don't know what to say. That was fascinating. True Blue, you reached the I still know how to pronounce that. I'm going to look it up, and I'm sure I've already put up the definition somewhere on the screen previously in the video. You reach tumescent heights of muscular perfection. Well, I don't really have much else to say except for that was a fascinating route. Yeah. Nike's pretty cool, I guess. I mean, apparently she becomes an evil cyborg in one route, which is weird, but whatever. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.